Zhengzhou, China is flooding again. Citizens complain that the government should have rebuilt sewers and drainage pipes. China's state leaders have been given China-made vaccines. Many citizens are skeptical about its safety. China will hit the biggest retirement wave in history. 20 million will retire every year for the next decade. How will this affect the country? China threatens the US over Pelosi's potential visit to Taiwan. This is the most aggressive China has ever gotten over US-Taiwan relations. China has a new ploy to secure influence in Southeast Asia. They are durian imports. Finally, another vicious fight broke out in Tangshan, China. The 9 involved are the same people as the fight in June. 5 were injured. Let's get into it. Welcome to Sound of Hope News. My name is Daniela Wolensack, and today is July 25th. On July 22nd, the Zhengzhou Meteorological Observatory issued a dangerous rainstorm warning. The city stopped 34 bus lines and detoured another 55 bus lines. Roads in Henan were submerged during the afternoon, blocking traffic. Several drivers were caught in the floods. A Zhengzhou citizen, Zhang, said heavy rain has been falling all year, and the water level in Tangshan Park was above the tires on cars. The day before, he stockpiled food in case of an emergency. Last year on July 20th, in Zhengzhou City, an apocalyptic flood submerged subway cars, drowning many passengers. Water also flooded several vehicles in the Jingguang Road tunnel. The local government was slow to respond to the emergency. Many blamed them for the disasters. The Central News Agency reported that after 2 consecutive years of floods, the public is now questioning their local government. They ask, can they rebuild the sewers and expand drainage pipes? Is that so hard for a provincial government? Others were critical, saying, a year later, the streets of Zhengzhou are flooded again. What have you done the past year? To top it all off, on July 20th this year, the authorities strangely refused to let the public mourn last year's victims. Plainclothes police officers guarded the subway station where the disaster happened. China's state leaders have been given China-made COVID-19 vaccines. The public is skeptical about their safety. On Saturday, July 23rd, Deputy Head of the National Health Commission, Zheng Yixin, stated that Chinese President Xi Jinping, Premier Li Keqiang, and other leaders have all been vaccinated against COVID-19 with China-made shots. Zheng didn't specify when the officials had been vaccinated or if they received booster shots. China has always tried to boost its vaccination rates, especially among the elderly. According to the NHC, nearly 90% of China's vaccine-eligible population has been fully vaccinated, but only 61% of people over the age of 80 have been fully vaccinated, and only 38.4% have received booster shots. Experts and officials warn that the lower vaccination rate for the elderly group would likely squeeze health resources if the virus spreads widely, Reuters reported. This will probably make China stick with its dynamic COVID-0 policy, even though the public doesn't like it. The unvaccinated are mostly concerned about the safety of the shots in China. Numerous cases of severe diseases post-vaccination stirred public fear. In some cases, the shots caused leukemia and diabetes in children. NHC said their statistics show no link between the vaccines and diseases. People criticize the lack of transparency in the government and the Chinese vaccine makers. Currently, the most common Chinese vaccines are made by Sinovac and Sinopharm. Foreign-made COVID products haven't been approved yet. China is about to have the biggest retirement wave in history. For the next decade, about 20 million people per year will retire. Social pensions will be pressured. The labor force will decline. Retirement populations in China have already reached new highs. Over 7 million people are retired in Guangdong and 9.15 million in Zhejiang. Daily Economic News reported on July 21st that the impact of this retirement wave will be multifaceted. First, the working age population will decline nonstop. A director at Fudan University, Peng Xizhe, calculated that about 17 to 18 million join the workforce each year in China, but if 20 million retire, about 3 to 5 million people will be lost. Government pensions will be under pressure. China's current pension insurance has three main groups. The first is basic pension insurance, which is for urban workers or residents. The second is for corporate pensions and occupational pensions. And the third is personal pensions. As the Communist Party's finances become tighter, China is losing more and more pension money. Additionally, the overall population of China is aging because the younger generation is reluctant to have children, according to a report by the Chinese Insurance Association. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is planning a diplomatic visit to Taiwan in August. China contacted the Biden administration and privately objected. The communist government threatened the U.S., saying, quote, "A possible military response may be triggered." This is the most sinister warning Beijing has ever given the U.S. about US-Taiwan relations. On July 23rd, the British Financial Times posted a report. They suspect the Chinese military may stop the U.S. military plane carrying Pelosi's delegation to Taiwan. They may even use fighter jets to intercept it. Sources said that the White House is still assessing China's brinkmanship. The timing of Pelosi's visit is sensitive for Beijing. August 1st is Army Day in China. During this time, top Chinese Communist Party leaders hold an annual meeting. This year's meeting is extra special because the current Chinese leader, Xi Jinping, is hoping to be re-elected later this year. He is using Army Day to gain support, but positive US-Taiwan relations threaten his success. The U.S. Defense Department officials briefed Pelosi last week on the risks associated with her visit. President Biden told reporters afterwards, quote, "The military doesn't think it's a good idea to keep Pelosi's plan to visit Taiwan." On Thursday, Pelosi spoke at a news conference. She said President Biden did not tell her to not go to Taiwan and added, quote, "The president was referring specifically to the military's concern of the possibility of our planes being shot down, or something like that." As a result, Pelosi will not be discussing any congressional trips to other countries out of security concerns. National security experts in Taiwan are concerned that Beijing may step up military aggression in response to Pelosi's visit. A senior Taiwanese official said, quote, "In the past, gangsters wore gentlemen's suits. Now, they are coming out wielding knives." China is using the durian, known as the king of fruits, as a charm offensive to win over Southeast Asia. Hong Kong media reported on July 24th that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi recently visited Malaysia. He enjoyed durian cakes with Malaysia's foreign minister before a joint press conference. China's minister diplomatically commented on how delicious it was and decided to increase imports. China is also ready to import more palm oil, tropical fruits, and other agricultural products from Malaysia. But the real goal is to solidify ties in the region. Later, in the southern Chinese city of Nanning, the Chinese foreign minister agreed with Vietnam's deputy prime minister to allow fresh Vietnamese durians to enter the Chinese market. China was also interested in Vietnam's agricultural and fishery products. According to Vietnam's agricultural department, 70% of the country's fruits and vegetables are exported to China. With the addition of durians, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the two sides should promote production and supply chains, strengthen port construction, and promote bilateral trade. An expert at the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute in Singapore, Le Hong Hiep, said the Chinese Communist Party uses border trade to exert strategic influence over Vietnam. Although Vietnam wants to maintain stable cross-border trade with China, the Vietnamese government wants to avoid economic coercion. A vicious beating broke out recently in Zunhua City, Tangshan, China. The 9 suspects involved are the same individuals as the Tangshan restaurant attack on June 10th. Officials reported that 2 groups were fighting and 5 people were injured. According to CCTV News, the fight began at 9 p.m. on July 22nd in Zhonghua City, near the North Station of the Oriental Plaza. A man named Wang Mo and 5 others were eating. Wang Mo got up and accidentally bumped into a neighboring table. That table had 4 people sitting there, and one of them was a man named Li Momo. The two tables started a quarrel, and it got so bad they started kicking and punching each other. When it ended, 3 men and 2 women were injured at different degrees. The women were knocked to the ground. One was unmoving, and the other could move her arms but was unable to stand. So far, the police arrested Wang Mo and 7 of the suspects, but one of them managed to escape. Last month, these 9 thugs beat 4 women in a Tangshan restaurant. The incident went viral, sparking an intense debate about gender violence. Tangshan Vice Mayor and Party Secretary of the Municipal Public Security Bureau, Zhao Jin, proposed using the Thunderbolt operation and the 100 Days operation to stop the violence. These are measures that forcefully combat illegal crimes and safety hazards. This time's fight also went viral in China. The public was angry that Operation Thunderbolt hadn't worked the first time. Thank you so much for listening to Sound of Hope News. If you like what you saw, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.